Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of the In Between podcast. And as you can tell, the setup for the episode is a lot different from the first one. Sadly, Aaliyah and I are not together anymore, which means that we have to start filming videos individually. And a way that we can do that is answering questions that you guys have sent in on our Instagram poll and our questionnaires on our stories. And we really appreciate the questions you guys have sent in, and so the video today will be me answering most of those questions, and Aaliyah will be answering the same and some different questions, and that video will be coming out in 4 weeks. So come with me on my way to work and I will be answering a lot of your questions. Right, so the very first question that was sent in was, when did you come to faith in Jesus Christ and how has that impacted your life? And I would say at the time I lived at Lake Ann and I was talking to my brother, I believe it was my brother, and I was 5 years old, and that's when I decided to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And I think right after that I talked to my dad. So yeah, I would say 5. And then how's that impacted my life? I would say to do everything for the glory of God. Everything that I say, think, and do for His glory. And it's definitely changed throughout my years in my life. Doing everything, like I don't swear. I don't listen to music that swears or talks about inappropriate things, and that's definitely something that I have to hold myself accountable to, because listening to the radio and going through the different stations, it's definitely hard to keep that out of your mind and to keep that away. So I would definitely say making sure I'm doing everything for God's glory and making sure that I'm respecting Him and following His rules. And so yeah, that would definitely be a way that it's changed my life. And then the second question is, what are good music genres you like, or good music stations, or like people you like to listen to? 90.3 WBCL is always a good one. Very focused on the Lord, so that's an amazing station to listen to if you're just scrolling through the radio type. Let me think. I love Heart Song. So while living at Lake Ann, I became close to all the Heart Song teams that would come down and sing for the camps. And I love Heart Song so much. My brother goes to Cedarville, which is where Heart Song is based. And so I always listen to them on Spotify, and they came to my church once, so I was able to become friends with some of them and listen to them in person. So I love Heart Song so much. They have great theology, and their songs are just so encouraging and amazing, honestly. Let's see. The third question I got was a specific question from a specific person, meant for me. It's the brown sugar cortado. There's someone at my church loves when I make brown sugar cortados, and his question was, how do you make them? Shout out to him. It's basically like a scoop, maybe a tablespoon of brown sugar and like 2 shots of espresso and some steamed breve. And breve is just half and half. And so yeah, it's a very simple drink. It's more natural sugars instead of like the artificial like syrups or sauces type stuff. I enjoy it. I really like that drink, and I'm able to make it for him every Sunday morning. So that's really fun, and I really love making those drinks for him. The third question was for me and Aaliyah. It's a friendship breakup. So the question was, have you or Aaliyah ever experienced a friendship breakup with each other, or has it ever gotten close? I would say no. When we were younger, we were never really close when we were younger, because we'd see each other maybe 2 times a year. And we're younger, we have no idea what's going on. We just know that, hey, I get to see this person, yeah, let's just hang out, and then never talk to her until I see her again type. And so we were never close, and now that we are close, we're planning to move in together when we're older. We're planning to move to Florida, and I don't see a friendship breakup in the future, and I don't think it will happen. The thing is, I can't tell the future. I have no idea what God's plan is for me. but all I know is that she is an amazing impact on my life. She has walked with me in my faith walk. She knows everything about me. I know everything about her. And to be honest, we fight sometimes. Like, we have our normal fights and we don't get along at some points, but we always come back. And another thing is, we're family. Like, you can't, in a way, you really can't break up with family. And so I love her to death, and I don't see any kind of friendship breakup in the future, and I hope that a friendship breakup will never come in the future. We've never had one, and I hope we never will. The fifth question, I believe, would be, what are bad influences in the world that are pushed on our youth and like our culture and society? I would definitely say what I experienced as a bad influence was you have to be popular or cool in school. And I hate that. Being popular doesn't matter. Being popular does not define who you are. And that's what's being pushed in school systems and being pushed on our societies, as in, like, if you're not popular, you're not cool, and you don't have friends, and you won't grow up to be anything. And that's completely false. That's not true at all. You do not have to be popular. You do not have to be cool. You don't need to have a boyfriend. You don't need to wear the newest shoes or to have nice clothes. That's what's being pushed, and it's awful because you don't need to. The only thing you need is to be associated with Jesus. If you're associated with Jesus, and if people look at you and say, she knows Jesus and she loves Jesus, or he knows Jesus or he loves Jesus, that's all you need. You don't need to be defined any other way, as in a follower and a lover of Christ, God. Like, that's all you need. You don't need a boyfriend. You don't need shoes. You don't need the status in school. So yeah, that's how I would answer. And Aaliyah honestly would say the same thing. I think she would say the same thing, or she might go into like a respect type of thing, which I could see her doing for sure. How would you describe the podcast? I think what we've put in our description on like Spotify and YouTube would be living life with Jesus, family, food, and laughter. Jesus is the main center. He's in it all. Every episode will be about Jesus, or we'll have him over it all type. He's number one in our minds, and he's number one with the podcast. He allowed this podcast to happen, and we just hope that this podcast can glorify him through it. So we definitely choose a lot of topics for videos about talking about Jesus, or like going through like life lessons we've learned. And so that would definitely be top of our description, is Jesus. And then family is Aaliyah and I are family. We love each other to death, and we would never desert each other, and we always are hanging out with family. And so there's nothing better, like when I'm watching something on the TV, I love seeing the family scenes, or like playing games or hanging out, and I just love that. Spending time with family is crucial in young people's lives, and even older people's lives. It's just crucial in the lives of all people, because they are your foundation. Jesus and family are definitely foundational people. So greatly appreciate them. Like, they would definitely be two of our main, sorry, my mom's calling me, I don't know if you could hear that. Two of our main things that their podcast is based on. And then I think I said food. Aaliyah and I are foodies. Late night Taco Bell runs are our favorite. The funny thing is, I used to hate Taco Bell, but I think it was just because of the experiences I had, to be honest. I remember I was going up to Lake Ann for like a freeze out thing, and I was stuck in a van with a bunch of teenage boys and middle school boys, and they decided to go to Taco Bell. And let's just say, I really wish I was in a window seat. I really wish I was able to put my window down and breathe in fresh air. So I think that's why I did not like Taco Bell. But I love it now, and Aaliyah and I have made amazing memories. Amazing memories going to Taco Bell. Like, it's a weird thing we have. We love tacos and we love eating. That's mainly what we do, is eating and talking and going to Taco Bell. So food is definitely part of it, and laughter. Aaliyah is my favorite person, but she's the funniest person I've ever met. She is by far the funniest person I've ever met, and I have the most hilarious stories about her, and I think it would be funnier for me to talk about those stories when we're together, because we bounce off each other. Like, if we're talking and we're laughing, and it just goes crazy when we're together, because she'll say something and then I'll like bounce it back off, and then we'll just laugh, and we'll be laughing for hours, and it's amazing. And we call each other almost every day, like maybe an hour FaceTime every day, which is, some people think it's ridiculous, but for us, we don't live close to each other and we're best friends. And so we definitely call all the time, and we're always laughing, and that's a big part of what our podcast is. Because our first episode was more of a serious episode, but we're thinking about uploading one of our, like, testing our mics and, like, opening our Christmas gift that we gave each other episode. And that one's, like, the mics are awful, I will admit, because we had them too close, so the mics weren't very good, but we're just laughing throughout the whole entire thing. And I think I was hesitant on uploading it because of the mics, but now that I think about it, and she's been wanting to upload it for a long time, now that I think about it, we will upload it, and I think we'll upload it maybe in 4 weeks. I might have to push her question video in 6 weeks instead of 4. So we might do the opening our Christmas gifts, because it's closer to Christmas. We don't want it like in February, because that's a little weird, unfortunately. And so we're gonna put that video out there because we're just laughing, and it's just like such a fun, hilarious video that we made, and we think it's funny, and we honestly don't care if people think the mics are weird, or think that the mics make the video trash. We don't care. We honestly don't care. We just had so much fun doing it, and we had our older cousin Faith was helping us with our video and helping us like start the camera and the angle and stuff, and she was having so much fun, and we were having so much fun, and we just really want that episode out there, and we don't care if it's a low quality mics or trash video. We just had a lot of fun with that one. The eighth question is, whose idea was it to start the podcast? It was Aaliyah's. It was all Aaliyah's idea. I think even when we were younger, we have like little Kendalia videos, and I think we put one of them up at the end of our first episode, and I might have to put another one up at the end of this one. I think when we were younger, it was also her idea for the podcast, or like to do like news reports or like dancing and singing videos. I think it was hers. And I've enjoyed it, but I've always been hesitant about posting them. We never posted the Kendalia videos because we were like 9 and 7, and there was no point of us being on the internet or having access to social media at that age, because that's just dumb, to be honest. But yeah, it was definitely her idea. She takes full credit. She loves taking full credit for that. And I was hesitant. Definitely what are people going to think? They need to be professional. They need to be good. People need to hear us clearly type. But all in all, we just have so much fun. And I'm just glad that we have the opportunity to do something like this, because we would have seriously regretted not posting the first episode when we did. So I'm very thankful that she came up with the idea, and that she was like so adamant about doing it, and I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of the journey with her. Let's see, question 9 would be, how can we stand out for Christ? A way to be a light for Christ is to always be kind, and to always be loving, and to always just share the gospel. Be kind is like, don't be disrespectful, don't break the rules, be good. And like essentially just be good. Being a light for Christ is displaying who Christ is in your life. And showing others what Christ was like. And he was kind, he was just, and he cared, you know? And he was humble. And that's another way that we can stand out for Christ is being humble and putting others before us. Because I feel like in this world, everyone is out to protect themselves, and everyone is out to take care of themselves. And yeah, don't forget about yourself and let yourself go, and like don't stop taking care about yourself. But if you are doing something with a selfish ambition, put others first. For example, let's say you're at Walmart and I'm trying to come up with an example off the top of my head. You're at Walmart and you find the last milk jug, but an elderly woman comes up behind you looking for the same exact one. Give it to her. Be humble, be caring, selfless, and kind. And that is a way that we can stand out for Christ in a world of selfishness and a world of hate. And then I believe the 10th question is, let me see. How long do you plan on continuing the podcast? That's a good question. We plan on continuing the podcast until we die. We don't plan on ending it ever, to be honest, because we plan on moving in with each other and moving to Florida when I graduate college, because I'm planning on going into sports medicine. And Aaliyah's not planning on going to college, and so what we plan to do is when I graduate, we are moving to Florida, and I can work with like a football team down there, or I could work at like a school, and I could do anything down there. And we want to find an apartment or a house that has like a separate room or like a third bedroom, and we want to set that up as a studio room and film a lot of our videos in there. So we don't plan on ending it ever until we're dead, essentially, in the end. The thing is, we think it would be amazing if we continue the podcast till like we're older, in a way, till we're like 20 or something. Or not 20, oh my word, that's too young. Till we're like in our 70s and 80s type. We want to continue the videos forever, and we can't wait for all these episodes to come out. So that's how long we would be keeping it, actually. I have to go into work, so the last question that I will be answering is, what's your favorite Bible passage? And I would definitely say, let me find it, Matthew 6:25 through I believe 34, if I can find it. Yes, 34. And this passage was shared with me by a very close friend of mine. He texted it to me. He was like, hey, go read this Bible passage, because I was so insecure about my psoriasis at the time, and he knew about it, and I expressed it, and he shared it to me, and it's my favorite Bible passage that I've ever read so far. And it will always be my favorite because it's such an encouraging passage, and it's definitely helped with my insecurities and with my self-image. And I would definitely have to put up a video of like going through it and reading it with you guys. But I have to go into work, and I'm so excited for this video to come out, and for Aaliyah's video, and for our third video, which I can't share what that video is yet, but I'm so excited for it to come out. And I just hope you guys have an amazing day, and thank you so much for tuning in for episode 2 of the In Between podcast. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Ken. Crud!